Hey everyone, I'm sorry to mention the word, but COVID prices continue, and I've got some really interesting things to share with you, particularly in relation to the pre-loved market, because as some of you will know, Chanel and Louis Vuitton have put their prices up recently by up to 20% in the EU. I personally think it's not going to be too long until Dior and other brands do the same, and there are some crazy things, some crazy deals that you can get on bags, but my thoughts are that the moment boutiques start opening globally, I think those prices pre-loved are going to go up as the prices in store go up. And I want to show you some of what's going on, because you can pick up Chanel classic bags as well as Dior for as much as 50% off at the moment, and you can get that on new bags as well, on pre-loved but new. By the way, I'm showing you this dress because I'm wearing it in the video and I don't know if I like it, so you can all tell me. But anyway, I hope you enjoy this and maybe buy yourself a new pre-loved bag. So I want to continue on from a conversation that I've had in about 3 different videos now. The first one I did back in March, and it was really at the start of the coronavirus situation where I noticed, and I know loads of you did as well, coronavirus hit. We all panicked, and the discounts coming out of some luxury retailers were immense, particularly in that late March phase. I did a video where I was saying to you all, guys, you have to see what coronavirus is doing to the luxury market. Now, it wasn't altogether surprising because luxury is a luxury, you don't need it. But I guess what was quite interesting is the speed at which a lot of these brands or a lot of the retailers, because it wasn't so much brands, it was retailers like Louisa Aroma, Farfetch, My Teresa, the speed at which those retailers went into putting things with very attractive discounts on them. Some of you might know, I've done videos on this that I'll link to below. Chanel and Louis Vuitton have both put their prices up in May. I think it's not going to be too long until Dior do a price increase as well. Now, here's the thing. If you've been thinking about getting one for a while, I do think that buying within the next few weeks to month will be a means of getting them without the price increase. It's not that I know anything, I don't, I'm just kind of guessing here. They're part of the LVMH group, and we've already seen price increases with Tiffany & Co, with Bulgari, with Louis Vuitton, and so it's only going to be a matter of time before Dior get on board. That's my assumption. So if you want anything from there, I do think that now is a time worth thinking about. But the other thing I was going to say is, if you want this stuff and you want a discount, you have to check out pre-loved. Have a look at this. Dior for me has always, when it comes to resale, it's always lost money. Anywhere between 500 and sometimes 1,000, it loses money. I don't know why that is. In fact, I was talking to one of you last night on Instagram. You are thinking about getting a Lady Dior, you live in Australia, but you're kind of like, money at the moment. And I said to you, well, you really should check out pre-loved, because you can get a lot of Dior for your money pre-loved. The first example is this. The bag that you are seeing here is this bag. It's not the same one, it's not me selling it, but it's the same bag. And here's the thing. The Lady Dior is now, I think from memory, it's like £3,500 to buy the medium size. And to buy the small size, I think it's £2,600 or £2,800. It's one or the other. However, if you've always wanted to get a Lady Dior and you don't mind pre-loved, bear in mind as well, a lot of the time you can buy things that are from people that haven't really used it. They might not have used it at all. I actually did that a couple of years ago. I bought the Dior bag that had like the hand bit down the front of it. It's this one. I bought that on Vestiaire Collective a couple of years ago. It was brand new. It was from the Montaigne store in Paris. Came with all the receipts, all the papers. But I bought that bag for £1,700, and at the time that bag was £2,400. So it goes to show you can get a decent amount of bag for your money. Now this blue one, as you can see, this blue one on the website is 2,310. When I bought this back in 2015, this was 2,400. So even with the price increases over the year, with this now being at 3,500, you can see that I've already lost like £90 on it. So can you see what I'm saying? The prices do go down on Dior. The second, before I move on to Chanel, is the 30 Montaigne. This bag in the material is £2,550 at the moment. But this bag, pre-loved, guys, check this out. Something that I do when I'm buying on Vestiaire Collective is I'll go and have a look round and I'll look at bags I like the look of. I prefer to buy bags that come with papers. Speaking for myself, if I was to give you a tip for buying pre-loved, I would say try and get a bag that has got the till receipts, because I know it's not always the case for everyone, but I'm always sketchy about people that are like, oh, I bought the bag 6 months ago, oh, but I threw the papers away. I find that weird, because for insurance purposes, that's why I keep the papers, and also if I ever choose to sell them on, I think it's good for the next person. But I'm kind of like, oh, I don't know though. Would you go and spend that kind of money and then just discard the receipt? With vintage, I don't feel the same, because obviously it's vintage, it's really old. But with stuff that's newer, I do prefer to have that comfort with it. So there's a red one here for £2,056.37. So quite a bit of a drop from 2,550. There's also a blue one. Now the one with the chain costs a bit more, but this one's 2,388. So you can already see you're making a good saving on this bag. When you buy pre-loved, save the bags that you like the look of, but go and have a look at the bags that have sold and look at how much they've sold for. Because what someone wants for a bag and what they're most likely to get are two different things. So you can see a lot of people are wanting 2,000 plus for this bag, but go and have a look at what they sell for is a very different story, and this is where you can hustle for a better deal. Look at this, 1,750. Someone got a great deal with that. 1,881. This one, 1,628. Got another one here for 1,799.32. Bear that in mind when you buy your bag. Take an average of the prices that the bags are selling at right now, and then use that as bargaining with the seller. Do bear in mind on Vestiaire Collective, they take a really big cut of seller fees, they take 30%. So don't go too hard on the person, because they might only have a certain amount of margin. But I never just pay the asking price. I always look at what things are selling for, and then when I'm trying to bargain with them, I will kind of be like, well, look, this is what they're selling for, can we come to an arrangement? Or I play the long game, save it and wait for it to come down in price. And I think at the moment, what with this situation and the world economy, I think that now we're at a point where I think you're more likely going to get a good deal. Chanel, same thing, jumbo classic flap. Guys, this bag has just gone up insanely. Those prices have not yet rolled out in the UK, they've rolled out in the EU, and I think they're coming out in the US. They might even be out now. The price increases in the EU are considerably higher than what they've been in the US. If you want one of these and you do not want to pay the exorbitant price increase, here are some examples. The jumbo size classic flap you can pick up on Vestiaire Collective for between £2,000 and £5,000 is what they seem to be going for. Now, you know how I mentioned with Dior that 30 Montaigne bag, people have got it up for like 2,000, but actually it's selling for top end of 1,700. It's slightly different with Chanel. I've noticed that the prices that people are currently asking for are pretty much the same as the prices they're actually selling for. And you can get a lot of bag on there for between 2,000 and 3,000 actually, particularly the vintage stuff. And I almost prefer the look of the vintage stuff, and I think it can be better made in a lot of instances. So I found this particular example here, and I think the price of it's really good. I wanted to show you this in particular because I really think that when the price increases happen, the price of resale is going to go up, which is great. You know, the increase in Chanel and Louis Vuitton is not good if you're buying, but it's good if you're selling. I'm now going to move on to some other brands which you can get a really good discount on or a really good deal on right now, but not pre-loved. Well, probably pre-loved, but I'm going to focus more on buying brand new here. Take a look at some of these bags that are eligible for the 30% off. If you don't want to sort through the whole website and try and pick out what's eligible from what isn't, because that does get quite boring, I'm going to put direct links below to, I'll do it for men and for women, of where you can go to one page that's got everything that's eligible, and it makes it a load easier. But they've got 30% off, or even, I think it's 10% and upwards on Gucci, Prada, Fendi, Yves Saint Laurent. Great deals out there. And the same thing also goes for wallets as well. So small leather goods. Another couple of places where you can get great discounts at the moment are flannels. So they've got 20% off, and I think that only runs through May. The second place is Farfetch. Now, Farfetch have got a sale on at current, and some of the stuff in it is like 50% off, and it's not the junk that didn't sell this season. This is what I don't like about sales. Normally I'm the kind of person that won't sit there and pick through a sale page because it's weird stuff that was overpriced and they've only got it in like weird sizes. But the sale on Farfetch at the moment is very worth you sitting there and spending some time. They've got Zimmermann in there, they've got Prada, they've got Gucci. They've got so many good brands. This is better. Okay, this one I think is longer term. 20% off with a coupon code you need to use, and the 20% off works if you're spending 500 euros and over, or $500 and over. So I'll put details of those two below, because most of the time the coupon codes on my Teresa tend to work on most brands, whereas I know on Louisa Via Roma, they do every so often allow you to use it on brands like Fendi and Gucci, but most of the time it doesn't work. What do you think is going to happen to the second-hand pre-loved market as well? Do you think that those prices are going to start to rise as the shops start opening again and the prices of those items have gone up? What do you think about Dior? And about Gucci and about all of those other brands? Do you think that they're going to put their prices up? I also wondered whether the reason why they hadn't done it already is maybe they kind of sat back and watched what Chanel have done and how that's gone down, and maybe they're holding back. But maybe that's me thinking they care more than they actually do. And I look forward to talking to you in the comments and seeing what you think. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.